Hey there, YouTube land. Big Dave here. So, here's the deal. First of all, it's Friday. I'm having my coffee. I'm hoping that if I use this mug in my videos, that I'll get sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Because I'd rather get free coffee than free reads. Does that make sense? Anyway. So, I got quite a few messages over the last while about different people whose saxophones aren't working right, or they're having trouble. Either it's, notes aren't coming out, or this and that. There could be a lot of reasons for that, but I'll show you a few things to check, and that's the purpose of my video today. A couple of things that you should check right away if your saxophone is not working right. Now, another thing is I'm going to talk to you about this right now. It's not happening yet. I'm working on it. I'm in the process of trying to do some ebooks, small ebooks, topical ebooks on a specific topic that are going to go into more detail than I would in a video. They're not available yet, and they're not finished, and we're just twinking around with this right now. And I don't know how much they're going to be. They're not going to be all that much. A couple bucks. I don't really know. I have to see how much time is involved in producing it and putting it up, on whatever site it's going to be available on. But they would be topic specific and have more details. What that also does is obviously it helps fund a little bit my endeavors. Everybody has the electric bill, and we all do different things, and I'm not expecting to make any great fortune off of those ebooks. But a couple of bucks here and there, to pay some bills or do whatever, or to just, have around, is not a problem. So that's going to be a future project. I'm not set on it right now. I just started checking it out. I have a friend of mine that does ebooks, and he does pretty well with them. And but again, they would be very topic specific, and they won't be all that long. And it'll be just like a thing that's available to go with. And the other thing is that I am considering, I haven't done it yet, and I'm not, I'm not sure about it. Sometimes I talk about different things. It could be even this flashlight or whatever. I'm thinking about putting the links in the bottom where you could go to the link, and it provides some kind of sustenance this way, and it's possible. I'm just putting it up front. That's some of the things I've been thinking about, because I've been talking to other people that are doing their YouTube thing, and again, there's no great fortune involved in any of this, but it's just for more practical means than anything else. Anyway, so your saxophone doesn't work right. So let me just say this. Right now, I don't know where you all live, because you all live in different places. If you're in a winter location, like right here where I am, it's the winter. So the heat's running, and the air is dry. So if you were to use a hygrometer, which is something that tells you how much humidity is in the air, I could show you one another day. They're very cheap. You can get them. I have one in my violin cases. And it tells you what the humidity is and stuff like that. If it gets to be too dry, what happens is your saxophone pads and corks and things also get dried, and they shrink a little bit. And it's minuscule. It's like a tiny amount. So, for example, one of the main culprits, if you're having trouble with your saxophone, is this key right up here. When you push down the B, this key needs to close. So if you push down your B, and don't squeeze it too hard, just push it down, and then tap on this key, you shouldn't hear a sound. Now I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. Now you hear a tapping, right? If you hear this tapping while your finger's down, there's a leak. Now, you could run back and forth to the repairman all the time and have this adjusted because it's not going to really stay. It's just not. Even though you might think it will, but it's not. Now on this one, I'm going to try to find the lever on this one because this is an issue here. I want to find the correct. There it is. Okay, so when I push this, you'll see that bar move, right? See the bar? Okay, so when you push the B down, the B has its own lever. I want to make sure you can see the lever that's moving back there. It's a little hard to see, but it closes this down. It keeps it closed. All right, so if there's a problem, what you have to do is maybe get a piece of small, like tape, and put it underneath where the cork and the bar is. I want to find the one on here so I can show you exactly what it is. All right, it's a little hard to see. It's right in the middle. It's right there. Right where my finger is. So on this one, I'm holding down the key, and you can see that moving right there. Now, that cork that's in there might need to be replaced if it's no good, and this is not closing. But in the meantime, you can just take a small piece of tape and put it on that bar. I like the blue tape because it comes right off, and also it has a little bit of thickness to it, so it's just thick enough where I could stick it on that bar like one layer, and all of a sudden it closes. The next big culprit in these saxophone problems is the neck key. Sometimes this key, and here's another thing too while I have it out, make sure that however you're storing your neck, that you have it enclosed in something that's decent, that gives it some protection, because it either gets all banged up, or this could go out of round, or this could not work right. Now this has a new pad in it. Now sometimes when they put the new pad in, this is not adjusted properly. So when you put it on your saxophone, and you might say, oh well, you know, I just took it to the repairman, but you know, or the repair person, I should say, because they're one of my repair persons, one of my best ones, is a woman, and she's amazing. She does a great job. So here's the thing: when you push the octave key, and it pushes up right there, okay, there needs to be a little tiny space here. You don't want a big space, but you want a tiny space. So you should see that bar move, the actuator thing, you know, right there, from the key, from the thumb key. You should see that move a little bit before it grabs this. If they're hooked together, it's no good, because even though you may not see it, there's a tiny space open up here, and it'll throw your whole saxophone off. Now, you don't want a big space. You don't want to push the thumb lever and then have it go a distance and all of a sudden hit this bar and then open, because I see that too on some horns. All right? So that's the second thing you want to check. So there should just be an air space, tiny space of light that you can see in there before it contacts this and opens it up. Now, another thing is, depending on where you put your neck, it might be good in one position, and then you move your neck and it's not good in another position. So you need to know what your range of motion is with where you adjust your neck, if you're sitting or standing or whatever, and have it so that, you know, the whole thing moves. So maybe in one place it might be just a little bit more open, in another place it's not. Okay? Here's another thing: cut pads. Now, we do have a cut pad on here, right? And let's see if you can see it. It's right there. There it is. Cut pad. Now, this pad's been cut for months. I have a piece of blue tape in there. and it closes and there's no problem. It's been like that for, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe more. I'm not sure. Okay, so when it's dark out or you go into a dark room, if you don't have a proper inspection light, which actually I don't. Can you imagine? I've been playing for, I don't know, 4 decades at least, and I don't have an inspection light. So what I do is when it gets dark out, I just turn the light out and I click this on, stick it in the top of the horn, and then I check my upper stack. And believe it or not, I can actually see down into the bottom. When it's dark, you can see a lot. And if there's something that's not closing up in this upper stack, this is a problem because you're going to lose your air and your other stuff. You're not going to be able to play some of your notes. They're just not going to work. They're closed up. Okay, the next thing is the vent. Now on this horn, let's see if I can get the vent to work. There it is. The vent is here. Okay, not only do you need to make sure, and it usually operates when you have the octave key pressed and you use this. Okay, that's why it moves there, right? If that's blocked on the inside with saliva or some kind of buildup, it's going to mess your whole horn up. So what you do is you can take a wooden stick or a piece of a coat hanger even, and put a paper clip on the end, tape it on, and have it stick out like an L, and go down in the horn and poke it through the hole and make sure that the debris is cleaned out. You should be able to have that pass right through the hole so you see it come out underneath the pad. Now don't poke too hard or you'll rip up your pad, right? Don't send me a message on YouTube and say, oh, I did what you said and my pad got all ripped up and no, it's no good. You have to use common sense. So don't go all the way through. Don't poke the pad. All right? Okay, let's look at another thing. The next big culprit, G sharp. Now this G sharp key, when you put down your F, it's supposed to close all the way. There should be no wobble in that G sharp key. Also, when you do C sharp or B flat, all of those raise this key. So it has to close properly. If not, most saxophones have a little screw that's right above the G sharp key, and you need to adjust that screw just slightly until you're sure that this is not coming up while you're holding these down. It should not be coming up. This is supposed to be, see, it goes down with them. All right, so you need to check that. Might need a quarter of a turn. Don't go and just start turning and turning. No, a little turn. That's it. Okay. And that's another culprit for low note problems. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to bring up in this video is the big paddle keys. Okay, these lose their impression. The impression is the what's on there. Now, when I close, these need to close. All right, if they don't close, there's problems. Now, you can look inside, even in the daytime, and you'll see light coming through while you push down the B flat or the B. It might need to be adjusted, but what I do also is I make these little corks. And not all the time, but sometimes if I know I'm not going to use this horn right away, it's going to be sitting around. So I put these corks in underneath the key to hold the key down while I put the horn away. And it keeps the impression and it keeps the pad down. You don't really need to do that on any of your other keys. It's not that necessary. Some people use a squeezer or whatever. This is where the big trouble happens, right there. Okay, so look, I don't want to make this video too long. I hit the main points that I wanted to show you. I will be making some other videos in the very near future. Another thing is I had a request from some of my old students that I know are on the board about a couple of guitar videos or some things, and I will put some stuff up, okay? And I'll label them I'll label them guitar, and you know, so that they're separated from the other stuff. I'll just put on there, you know, guitar, and that way they can pop onto those and see what's going on. Okay, so that's it. It's Friday, and at least the sun is out here. All the rain and all the other stuff stopped. So there it is. I hope this helped, and you can comment below if you have a question, and everybody's usually polite. It's good, right? I get a lot of messages. I had 26 messages since, and thank you, by the way, those people that wrote me and, you know, wished me well and all that stuff. I really appreciate that. It's very nice. And, you know, send a little love. It's excellent. But, so there we are. Okay, hopefully this will load and it won't be upside down. All right, have a good day.